Everybody, if you don't already know who I am, Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida Rumbler. My daily live streams are on Rumble, and I post the clips to CommieTube. Now, I think I'm in the bad books of CommieTube, probably because I refer to them as CommieTube. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, feed the algorithm, and, watch the video to the end. Enjoy it. I'm not a fearmongerer, and I'm not a fearmongerer despite maybe having anxiety, not attacks, anxiety concerns in the middle of the night, envisioning what it would look like if a nuclear bomb went off in the Atlantic or in Europe and sent a tsunami that would wash over Florida. Like, would the tsunami wash over all of Florida? Would it get halfway through? If I were to get in a kayak with life jackets, which we have in the garage, would we float into the Gulf? I don't have those thoughts at all because that would be crazy. When it comes to yet another pandemic, I don't have those thoughts either. When it comes to nuclear war, hot war, or chemical war with China, I don't have those thoughts, except we've been talking about it for years now. I believe it was Steve Bannon who first put the seed in my head that the fentanyl crisis is in fact biological chemical warfare against the fighting aged men of their adversarial nation, the United States of America. I think it was Steve Bannon. I'm not sure. But at the very least, better to give credit to the wrong person than to pretend it was your original thought, which it wasn't. Then, the thought that TikTok is a psychological warfare campaign aimed at demoralizing and sterilizing the younger generation of America, so they are less likely to go on to have children that could be the next generation of soldiers. That thought also crossed my head. Then you have COVID, which we all bloody well knew to be, if not a deliberate biological warfare against America, at the very least was weaponized so that the Democrats could steal the 2020 election, much to the joy, I'm sure, of the Chinese Communist Party, who have already thoroughly infiltrated the Democrat Party, either by Bang Bang Fang Fang with Swalwell or the New York one. I forget her name now. It's not Hochul. But there was a Chinese spy infiltrating the New York government as well. Well, today it seems that they might be going with what they're calling agro-terrorism, which basically means that the United States Attorney's Office putting out I think this is the DOJ, putting out a press release, what's been reported in the news, Chinese nationals charged with conspiracy and smuggling a dangerous biological pathogen into the U.S. for their work at a University of Michigan laboratory. I'll say it with the British laboratory because it sounds... By the way, if you're doing it for work, typically you don't need to smuggle it in. You're not smuggling in something illegally for your lawful research at a university. So even the DOJ is being a little bit friendly here. Yeah, we're just smuggling some illegal, dangerous biological weapons, pathogens, for our work at University of Michigan, which I think has come to an abrupt end. If I'm taking guesses, let me just zoom in here so this can get as big as we can get it. Detroit, Yung King Shan, 33, and Zunyong Yu, 34, citizens of the People's Republic of China, the Chinese Communist Party country, were charged in a criminal complaint with conspiracy, smuggling goods into the U.S., false statements, visa fraud, announced the U.S. State Attorney Jerome Gorgon. Jerome Gorgon Jr. Gorgon was joined in the announcement by Special Agent in Charge Shivera Gibson, FBI Detroit, yada, yada, yada. The FBI arrested Jiang in connection with allegations related to Jiang and Liu's smuggling into America of a fungus called Fusarium graminearum, which scientific literature classifies as a potential agro-terrorism weapon. Like, I'm envisioning the last scene or I guess it's the first scene and the last scene, spoiler alert, out of 12 Monkeys. When you talk about these things, like, is one vial enough to go into a cornfield and release and it'll destroy all the crops in America? I doubt that's how it works. We'll see a picture of the spores or whatever the hell they were bringing in. My thought process is that you would need to take it in and you have a small amount, you can replicate it, I don't know, grow it, reproduce it, and then you get enough so that you can like put it in dusters on planes and really, really raise havoc. So I don't know how it works. I'm curious. The noxious fungus causes, quote, head blight, end quote, a disease of wheat, barley, maize, and rice, and is responsible for billions of dollars in economic losses worldwide each year. Fusarium graminearum toxins cause vomiting, liver damage, and reproductive defects in humans and livestock. Geez, it sounds a lot like what frickin' dog fennel does. For those who don't know, I accidentally, not knowing what dog fennel was, chewed on a small amount of it on a farm, spat it out swiftly. I don't know. I don't think I have any liver damage. Didn't cause any vomiting, and I don't need to worry about human reproductive defects anymore because I've already done my damage to the world. Although I've retained my ability to do more, just in case the world needs more Viva babies. And Madame Viva so agrees. She hasn't. According to the complaint, Jian received Chinese government funding for her work on this pathogen in China. Complaint also alleges that Jian's electronics contained information describing her membership in and loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party. Barnes and I have been talking about this for a very, very long time, specifically as relates to Harvard training, aiding, and arguably abetting, or I should say training and arguably aiding and abetting Chinese communist interests in terms of who they educate at their universities, who those students' loyalties are to, and the China having a law basically requiring Chinese nationals to be loyal to and convey to the Chinese Communist Party the information that they are acquiring, the education that they are acquiring abroad. Nearly 1/3 of the Harvard student population are foreign students, and the number one demographic of those foreign students, which I think amount for 27% of their students, are from China. Chinese Communist Party agents. Nothing less. You get these bleeding heart, suicidally empathetic liberals. Oh, no, you can't take their visas away. Diversity is our strength, even when we're educating, training, and assisting in our own destruction by training our enemies. It's further alleged that Jiang's boyfriend, Liu, works at a Chinese university where he conducts research on the same pathogen and that he first lied but then admitted to smuggling fugicidium, whatever it is, into America through the Detroit Metropolitan Airport so that he can conduct research on it in a laboratory at the Michigan place where he works with his girlfriend. United States Attorney Gorgon stated, quote, the alleged actions of these Chinese nationals, including a loyal member of the Chinese Communist Party, are of the gravest national security concerns. These two aliens have been charged with smuggling a fungus that has been described as a potential agro-terror weapon, yada, yada, yada. Federal charges announced today against Jian and Liu, both residents of the People's signify a crucial advancement in our efforts. So you got it. The FBI and the CPB are investigating the case. Cover your ass. A complaint is only a charge and is not evidence of guilt. Trial cannot be held on felony charges in a complaint. When the investigation is completed, a determination will be made whether to seek a felony indictment. There, we just all covered our respective legal asses through legalese and whatnot. Now, I want to bring up, I think I had an article on it. I'm fairly certain I did. Although that's pretty thorough. But what I wanted to say on that was the following. I'll get there in a second because I know that I have it. Now I'm going to have to go get it here. We are talking about COVID, biological warfare against America, against the world, specifically America, fentanyl against the West, TikTok, psychological warfare against the West, and now the potential, not overblowing this, not exaggerating what it might mean, the potential for agro-terrorism coming from China. I want to show you what the this is what I want to see. Like, can you imagine? First of all, I think we give a lot of shit to TSA for being useless. How in the name of sweet holy hell did they find this? I mean, give them credit. It's straight up out of 12 Monkeys. If nobody's ever seen it, go watch it. I didn't understand it any more the fifth time I watched it than the first, but I had to go read some descriptions and it made a little more sense. This is what they found. 2 Chinese nationals charged with smuggling dangerous fungus into how do they even find that? And I'm not trying to make light, don't smuggle shit into foreign countries. It's one thing to try to smuggle things that are illegal. It's another thing to bring things in that you don't know are illegal. But you got to be pretty bad. What are they bringing it in? Is their argument going to be, I thought I was doing this legally because it looks like in a styrofoam container? Were they hiding it? And if they were hiding it, how bad do you have to be at hiding it to not get 4 little dime bags of a into a country? Credit to whoever found it.
Yeah. They were hidden in a package of used tissues, so they were all crumpled up in order to disguise their location.
Okay. And just so everybody knows what I meant there, I'm looking at the screen and I don't see my screen, so I don't see when Encryptus's screen pops up, but I can hear the audio when I'm looking at the article on the side because I'm still using only one computer screen. 10 years, well, how many years have I been into this? 5+ years. I've got the second computer screen right to my right. I just have never hooked it up. So when I'm reading an article, I don't see myself anymore. So I know Encryptus popped in, but so they are actively trying to make it look like they're just smuggling in snot rags. How stupid do you have to be? A, don't smuggle shit into countries, period. And B, make sure what you're bringing into foreign countries is legal in those foreign countries. C. Now, what was I about to do here? I was going to go get the article, which is right here. Oh, yeah. So I don't think there's going to be anything new in this article. 2 Chinese nationals charged with smuggling. Yeah. Look at this. Very scary. The photo released by the U.S. District Court shows what authorities say are biological pathogens discovered in the luggage. Give them credit. Is it TSA that got it? Security. Anyways, give whoever found that credit because that's a small thing to find. And it's going to lead to some good stuff in terms of understanding the existential crisis that China poses to America and Canada by extension.